going on, everybody? Y'all know what it is. It's a little bit after 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. So, what that means is we are live for another episode of Book Talk Live. And today, just like every other Sunday that we've been on, I'm joined by a phenomenal, amazing author. I'll tell y'all a little bit more about her momentarily. But Miss Sonia White, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so one of the before I actually let you tell everybody about yourself, I want to tell everybody about the things that I have grown to know about Miss Sonia White. Um, when I say work ethic, she is beyond a worker. There's times that we've called during her projects, and there's times that we've called during her projects, and I'm talking about she just got off of a double, working to provide for it. Working on the events behind the scenes. She puts on some major events, y'all. Some high level events. Um, Working behind the scenes on this book, working on future projects. Um, Working behind the scenes as a full time traveling nurse. When I tell you that she is in the healthcare industry, but she's also a woman of many titles and many hats, this woman deserves and earns all that respect. And yesterday, I'm just gonna jump into it. Like I'm excited about it. Like yesterday, she did something that nobody before her has done. So yeah, I'm putting a challenge out there to all the previous authors and all the future authors. By herself, she hit number one in 15 categories. 15 categories. We got the receipts to prove it, y'all. So Miss Sonia, I'm gonna throw it to you. I want to know, tell the people a little bit about who is Sonia White.
Okay, I'm a U.S. Air Force veteran. I've been in the healthcare field over 20 years. I'm also a mother, and I'm also the uh, prop founder of a nonprofit. It's called S.M.I.L.E, the S.M.I.L.E Foundation, and it's to mentor and inspire and educate young minority young men. So it's smart men and leadership excellence.
Come on now, doing all that and running a global nonprofit at the same time. Listen, when I say your story is inspiring to me, it is truly inspiring. Where did you get this passion for young men?
The passion began years ago. So my brother was killed at a young age, and I'm also the mother of twin sons. They're in their 23 years old. And my passion and inspiration began as a mom to give guidance and instruction to my sons to have a productive and successful life. And also it's so much violence in the world, against our young men, black on black crime, and just to give them a guide. And when I'm gone, they'll always have this guide to know like how to be successful, how to be gentlemen. And I've always taught them that at early age, how to be gentlemen. But that's where my passion comes from, is to empower our young men, because we have so many empowered young women, but we need these young men to also uh, have some kind of structure, guidance on how to be empowered as well.
Absolutely. And I love what you said. We have so many programs, especially these days, that are geared towards empowering young women. And
Yeah.
we need more of those programs out there for the young men that are coming up, because whether as a young African American, I got a few grades in this stash. Yeah. But as a black man, I can definitely say there's a target on our back every time we leave out of the house. So I humbly appreciate what you're doing for the young men in this world. Now, as we were getting this book together, there was a lot that was going on. But I want you to talk a little bit, just a little bit, about what's inside the book. Just a little bit about what's inside the book.
Okay, there was my internet is unstable, so there was a I'm reconnecting to you. Uh,
Yeah,
I'm back.
absolutely.
I said,
And
okay.
while
And I want to apologize to everyone. The internet is unstable.
no, it's all good. While Miss Sonia is getting connected, I want to read y'all something that kind of stood out to me from her book. It's in the first chapter, and it says great men are proactive. They constantly search for ways to better themselves. Most importantly, they don't stop there. They usually they have a natural inclination to lead and be in charge, and they are not afraid to impose their will on others. You wanna expand on that?
Can I'm sorry, repeat that one more time, please?
I said you want to expand on that.
Uh, can you read? I'm sorry, there was a interruption. Can you reread that excerpt?
Yeah, give me 1 second. And
Thank
it looks
you.
like you're on here with me twice. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the second one from here with this. Um, and so what I said was one of the one of the major excerpts from your first chapter in your book says great men are proactive. They constantly search for ways to better themselves. Most importantly, they don't stop there. They have a natural inclination to lead and be in charge, and they are not afraid to impose their will on others. And I said, do you want to kind of touch on that? Share a little bit about your thoughts with that.
Yes, our the purpose. Can you hear me, Mr.
Yeah.
Destin? Okay. Yeah, I can't see the Zoom, so I'm going to continue. But yeah, the okay, I'm back now. So yes, the inclination to lead is driven by purpose, and when you walk in your gift and when you work in your gift, you're going to achieve your highest level of success. And so that's what that is about: is achieving your highest level of success, being your best version of yourself, of what God has, destined you to be in this life, and also a contributor to our gift is not for us, it's for others. So we're here to bless others, we're to make this world a better place.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we're definitely here to help impact others. And I see you got a few people that are commenting. Emmanuel Comer said that's an interesting quote. He said, that men are not afraid to impose their will on others. And one thing that your book touches on and it consistently touches on is the alpha male. Why the
Mhm.
alpha male?
The alpha male is because that's that's like the
The purest,
yeah,
not the purest, but the strongest male. I got you. Mhm.
yeah, the strongest male, the strongest male.
Mm,
I'll have to get back with you on that. On
Nah, and so what we're gonna do is take a quick commercial break. Um, give Miss Sonia a second. Hear a quick word from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're gonna touch on a little bit more of Miss Sonia's story. We're gonna touch on the things that she's already been working on, and we're gonna touch on how you can get involved with the things that she's doing as well. Quick word from our sponsor.
Hello, and welcome to the Bobm Editing site. I'm here to tell you a little bit about who we are as an editing team at Bobm. Why Bobm? Why even bother with a professional editor? I'm glad you asked. There are several benefits to having a professional editor and team touching your work, making the value of your hard work's gem go from just a dull shine to a glowing luster. This is what we do. The value of having a team behind you, believing in your work, not working alone on something so very important is priceless. Bobm's editors do developmental, line, and copy editing services. We look for plot holes, and we ensure your story makes sense, correct nuts and bolts grammar issues, and even more. Not only that, our processes are client-centered. Our Bobm editing team takes pride in the fact that we do not destroy your authenticity or your voice as an author. I am an editor with Bobm, and we look forward to making your writing dreams become a reality with the Business of Books Mastermind Publishing Group. Let's get to work.
Absolutely, absolutely. That was one of our editors with BOBM. And we do everything that you just said. We want to make sure that your project is a complete success. Would you agree, Miss Sonia?
Oh, I totally agree. And back on the alpha man is self-confident, outgoing, and enterprising. So it's the strong male that's not afraid to just take charge.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's exactly. I know that you have two sons. You have twin
Yes.
sons. You said they're 23 years old each. Shout out to the youngsters, right? Um, and so I can imagine that being a single mother of those young men led you to have some passion towards seeing other men, uh, other young men, and men in general become better men. Is
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your passion for helping these men.
My passion for helping these young men is because they were mentored by successful businessmen, professionals that help navigate their course in life. So it's to keep them focused, to let them know that they can achieve whatever they
Absolutely. And I know that Miss Sonia, where you're at right now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, we kind of got cut off. I know that the internet there is intermittent while you're on the assignment that you're on.
Mhm.
But what you were saying about those young men and your passion. You want to pick back up on it.
Oh, yes, the young men and their passion. It's about also aligning them with great mentors and men that are doing what they want to achieve in life and know that it's possible. If they see a physician, uh, black physician, they know that they can achieve that as well. Like they're not limited on their dreams and goals.
Hmm.
And so
Exactly.
exposure is the key. So exposing our young men to professionals, to men that are doing great things in the community and the world.
Yeah. And I want to touch on that because that's a key point. I think a lot of people confuse what most of the I'm gonna call us old heads like to say or OG, depending on who you're talking to, right?
Mhm.
Is that man, these youngsters don't know much about being they don't have no work ethic, they don't have no success. But what you're saying is they're not exposed to it. And so
Exactly.
if you teach them how, or if you expose them to a doctor, that child now has a chance to that child now has a chance to become a doctor.
Mhm.
If you teach them, if you expose them to lawyers, they now have a chance to become a lawyer. If you expose them to successful people, and you've exposed your sons to a lot of great men, right?
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
mentorship. What are some of the types of people that you've introduced them to?
I've introduced them to multimillionaires. I've introduced them to real estate investors, men that own their own construction companies, and also men that are great fathers because sometimes, not saying anything negative about their dad, but if you see a man taking care of his family and doing great things, that's going to show them a guide, show them uh, what a man is supposed to do, and as far as being ahead, even in Ephesians, um,
Come on now.
it states in the Bible, about the man being the head of
Mm-hmm.
the household, and so we have to lead. Even though we have empowered women, we have to have our men be leaders and not be intimidated by women that are empowered, that are independent. So we need to catch them up and also let them know that we're here for them. We're giving them resources, we're giving them all the tools that they need to be not just successful in life but to thrive in life.
Yeah, absolutely. Teach them how to thrive, and
Yes.
if we can teach them how to Dougie, we can teach them how to thrive.
Mhm.
Right, right. And I share a similar passion with you because um obviously I have my 14-year-old son who
Mhm.
I've tried to expose him every step of the way on this
Mhm.
journey, because what most people see is, oh, we see him in the suits now. You didn't see me when I had the same pair of jeans, the
Yeah.
same blazer, and I was building. And but I've always been around those success-minded people, and like even with the youth program, that was something that I focused in on, because it's not. I think kids dream based on their level of exposure.
Exactly. I
Yeah,
agree.
and so I salute the fact that you are introducing your sons and these young men in the Smile program to men of stature, men that are going on to reach their highest level of capabilities, right? Um, what advice do you share with some of those young men?
The advice I share is just to be true to you. Just do you. We all have a gift, and you can't thrive off of someone else's gift. So my advice is to, and the book is geared towards is finding your gift and your purpose to be successful. And bottom line, just do you. That's the bottom line. Do you? Because there's only
Absolutely.
one you, so no one can imitate or replicate that. God only made one you, so.
Absolutely. And I wholeheartedly agree. So many times our young people, and even some of us older people,
Hmm.
um get caught in the habit of I call it the curse, right?
Yeah.
The comparison curse is, well, they got a nice car, I gotta have a nice car. Or
Hmm.
they have this type of house, I gotta have this type of house. Or they're doing this type of event, I gotta do this type of event. It's like, just do what you do naturally, and you'll live a happy, stress-free, blessed life. And success becomes easy. But like you
Right.
said, no, you I'm 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 reminded of the Dr. Seuss quote.
Hmm.
Say, there's no truer you than you. So at all times, just pretty much do you. I like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I like
Um
that too.
so So what advice do you have for your young sons if they're tuning in right now? What would you like to say to them?
Oh, they know my spell is keep God first, stay focused in the Word. That's your guide. Because when I'm not around, I want you to know how to navigate through life. Because life's gonna happen,
Mhm.
and that's my main thing. Keep God first. Know the Word for yourself. Don't just rely on someone telling you, and not just the word, just anything. Do your research. Learn on your own. If you don't understand something, look it up. We have access to so many
Mm.
great resources. My favorite place is the library. I know
Come
it's
on.
one of the most underused places, but it's so full of, you know, just anything you want to do or can do. It's in the library. We have resources online, and that's my advice. Keep God first. Do your best, and stay focused. Stay focused. Have the discipline. You have to have the discipline, and that's key to get anything done. You don't want to do anything. Give it 100%.
Absolutely. You got to keep, I love that. Keep God first and definitely hit that library.
Hmm.
That is one of the most people often say, I can't find this, I can't find that. But like you said, it's a free resource. As long as you go get your library card, there's apps online that you can
Yeah,
connect with with that library card. One of my
exactly.
favorite libraries is the remodeled library that's actually downtown in Austin. It sits
Hmm.
right next to the lake. You can reserve a room for 30 minutes to an hour, depending on
Hmm.
how long you need to be in there for meetings or whatever. And it's like it's more new modern technology.
I
And
know. Isn't that amazing?
yeah, and I can't tell you how many hours I actually spent inside of the library for the free Wi-Fi,
I know.
the
Mhm.
free books, and having access to something where I could just stretch out
Mhm.
as an entrepreneur in my early days of entrepreneurship. The that was the global office for
Mhm.
me, you know. So
Right. And
definitely
you
spend.
know what? The library also, you have access to CDs, certain magazines, other materials. It's not just books. So you have access to a lot more information and resources, not just books, but yeah, I was surprised you could check out music CDs, and all types of other resources that are available. Because before the internet, before the digital world, that's all we had was libraries as far as information for resources. And we also have to know our history, because there was a point that we were killed for reading or wanting to read or learning to read. So there's no excuse. Our ancestors have sacrificed for us to be where we are today. So we can't let that be in vain. We have to respect our ancestors and do our part, because they died for us to be able to be where we are today.
Talk about it. The simple luxuries that we share today are a
Hmm.
result of those 300-400 years of them putting us literally on their backs.
Exactly.
Make sure that we had access, and now we've gotten to a point where we're in information overload, right?
Hmm.
um, because you can get that information online. You can get it at the library, and I used to go to the library just to get old movies. You have the library, you have audio books, you have CDs, you have all levels of information, and
Hmm.
we're at a point where you can learn literally how to do anything, and they make it so easy. Outside of just reading it, you can watch it online. You can
Exactly.
tune into a YouTube video. You can tune into a Facebook video like this, where we're talking
Hmm.
about. So, so I definitely definitely respect that. Definitely respect that. what we're gonna do is take another quick commercial. I know we're rolling. I'm
Mhm.
loving the conversation. You start talking to me about books, and I light up. You can probably see the glow on my face.
Mhm.
We'll go ahead and take another quick commercial break. Be right back with y'all in about 2 and 2. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. Business of Books Mastermind coaching program has been around for the past 3 years. Myself as a coach, we've actually helped hundreds of authors get their books published and even more to become Amazon #1 best-selling authors. Over the past year and a half, we started our Amazon bestseller launch program, and 225 plus to date have all become #1 best-selling authors in multiple categories. Now, the reason that we started this coaching program is for people like you who you've either just started working on your first book and you don't know where to go with it. You're looking for a blueprint to creating your book. You're wondering how to market your book. You're wondering about how to connect with your audience. And most importantly, how am I going to sell this book and create income from it? These are all things that we teach you inside of 90 Days to Bestseller. The reason that this program is relevant to you is because you want to write that book and you want to be successful. Now that person may not be you. Here's the opposite. You've already written your book and you want to relaunch it as a bestseller. Been there, done that. My first book, I actually changed the cover twice for that exact same reason. The first cover, I loved it. But for some reason, after a while, it got stale. It was sitting on the shelf. So I created my own cover. Bad idea, right? The reason that it was a bad idea is because it looked like somebody was creating a network marketing flyer for my book. Went back and let a professional do it. Keyword, professional. Once that professional got their hands on my book, changed the book cover, it created a completely different vibe for my book. And here's what we've done as a result. From that change, from those slight changes, having a professional designer, going and hiring a professional editor, that book has actually launched a career for me that has taken me around the globe. And when I say around the globe, I've spoken at places all across the country and even done a few virtual international workshops here in the past few months. Now, for you, we can show you the exact same thing. We have the blueprint, we have the tools, we have the system that will work to help you get your book published and launched as an Amazon bestseller. Now, how long does it take? Typically, it takes us about 90 days. We're not going to tell you that it's going to be overnight. We're not going to tell you that it's going to be easy, but we will tell you that we have a blueprint that works and you should be next. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Listen, I know a lot of people out there that are tuned in. You're probably wondering how you can be the next Amazon #1 best-selling author. Well, you just heard. Click that button, hit that 90 Days to Bestseller because the coaching program, we're actually dropping on April 28th is going to be the first day of the course, and it will teach you the basics of branding, business, all the stuff behind your books. If y'all think it's not real, we've done this 265 times now. Miss Sonia is a living witness. She hit 15 #1s in, I want to say, less than 8 hours.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. How are you feeling now that you are in that number? Because
It,
this
it
is
feel
go ahead.
it feels surreal. It feels surreal, and it feels like I can achieve anything now.
Come on. You can.
Yeah.
You can. What would it I think it was an old song out there. I can do anything.
Mhm.
So I think that was on the Carter's album. But one of the things you did hit #1, and shout out to everybody that supported the shout out to everybody that supported Miss Miss Sonia on this journey
Yeah,
because
thank you. I can't
yeah,
thank all my supporters enough. I want to thank you with all my heart. Uh, just thank you, and I'm truly grateful. The best is yet to come.
yeah, the best is yet to come. You just getting started.
Hmm.
This wasn't your first book. This was your first solo book, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
tell us about the writing process for this book. How did you bring it to fruition?
Well, I started the writing process about a year and a half ago. And, during the pandemic, a lot of us had some extra time. So I just chose to write and put just to make my downtime, the downtime that I did have, productive. And when God puts something on your heart, you want to follow through because it won't leave you. It's just there. And that's what I used that time uh, during the pandemic was to start just things you say, okay, I'm gonna do this one day, and you put it off, then it's a year later, 2 years later. But I just decided to stay focused, get the job done, and just write the vision that he put inside of me to help young men. Even though I'm a woman, a mother, we all have a story to tell. Like I could relate to the single mothers and the single fathers as well, on how challenging it is in today's time to raise young minority young men. And we have to educate them different, have them prepared for the world is changing, the world's becoming more violent. So we have to prepare them just to how to navigate through the challenges in life as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I like what you said. And I remember when we first spoke, it wasn't a few months ago. It was like last year. And Miss Sonia was
Mhm.
like, I'm ready to write my book to get it out there. I'll call you back. So I know that there was a huge hurdle for you to get it out there, but you pushed through, you persevered, and trusted the process for the most
Yes. And I saw someone made a comment about that's procrastinating. That's correct. That is procrastinating. So, yeah, we have to, all of us procrastinate in some type of fashion or form. So it's just getting past that and, not letting, we all have responsibilities. So just doing what you need to do.
absolutely, absolutely. And I love that you push through, right? And you are absolutely right. I say that procrastination is the enemy of greatness because so
Yeah.
many times we push things, we push things that we know should be in the forefront
Hmm.
of our minds. And when we know that it should be not in the forefront of our minds, but something that we should be executing on, and we push it to the back burner. And what ends up happening is you look back at the journey and it's like, I should have been here,
Hmm.
but maybe the timing wasn't right. So what advice would you give to new writers?
Advice I would give to new writers is just do a little bit at a time. And we also have these smartphones. So in the notes section, you can also start there. Like you don't always have to have a pencil and paper ready. If you don't have a journal, there's start with your phone. So just do the thing is just to get started. Just get started. You have to make up your mind to get started, just like working out or being in better shape. We have to make it starts in the mind. So it's a mental thing. You have to be mentally ready. Someone can tell you to do something. And if you're not mentally prepared, as far as getting started, you have to make up your mind to do that. And you have to be tired of being tired.
Yeah. As Mystical once said, sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Yeah,
When you're
and
tired of being tired, and yeah, so and a lot of times our success will motivate other people, motivate our families, and know like, okay, and I'm motivated by my friends as well. Like, okay, they're doing this, I need to get on the ball, and my vision is to do the same thing.
yeah, and what and while she's talking about that, and I think, like I said, she's running into those intermittent internet issues, which she'll be back with us shortly. But one of the things that I've noticed is that when you actually go after your dreams, the people around you start to become encouraged.
Hmm.
Um, and not only do they become encouraged, but they also begin to step into their callings, because it's not that they it's not that they have all the answers, but they're seeing that you actually stepped out of your comfort zone. And when people
Hmm.
know your full story, it inspires them.
Hmm.
And I can say that it truly is inspiring to see somebody walk in their calling that maybe was scared or was toggling the edge. Um,
Hmm.
Miss Charlene said, she said, I'm glad you pushed through because your book is awesome.
Thank you,
So,
Miss Charlene. Thank you.
and to Emmanuel Comer, I remember you, brother, from the Men on a Mission. We got to get back together soon. Um, great work that JP3, John Price III, is doing over there with the brothers. Meet every Monday at 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern. So if any brothers are out there that need a group to connect with, that are strong praying brothers, definitely connect. And I'll get you connected to them as well. So
Okay, I see Manuel Comer. Shout out to you from Men on a Mission. That's awesome.
yeah. Now, Miss Charlene, you were saying to new artists to just do it, just get out of their way. What other suggestions or advice would you have for them? What's the first thing that a new author needs to do, in your opinion?
The first thing a new author should do is just know what they're gonna write about and just stay focused on that. And I don't have anything elaborate or fancy to say. Just to get started, and that's it. Just to get started, you just gotta write. So you just gotta get started.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the
just
best advice. Get started. You can take, like I mentioned before, you can take notes on your start chapter. Just even if it's 10, 15 minutes a day, just be consistent with it. And
absolutely,
you have to also may have to sacrifice doing something for what you really want to do. So if you're gonna focus on a book, say if you're watching, I don't know what is shows, Bridgerton, or uh, a Netflix show series, you may have to just compromise on getting what you need to do. A lot of times we say we don't have time, we have to make time for what we really want. So it might be, I don't watch a lot of television, so that's my sacrifice right now. I watch the news, but as far as television on a regular, I don't watch a lot of television.
absolutely. I heard a quote a long time ago, and I'm going to paraphrase, but it says, "You either sacrifice the time for your dreams, or your dreams become the sacrifice."
Hmm.
And that is 100% truth. Either you sacrifice for what you want, in the meantime, it may be you may have to miss a season, but these days it's not like when we were younger. You ain't got to get up and go turn that dial from the, what was it, AHF and VHF, uh
Hmm.
to get the right channels. You can
Right,
actually go back and watch those shows at any time. So make that
right.
sacrifice. Put your phone on silent. And I think you were mentioning that you can take notes in in your phone. There's an app that Google has called Keep Notes, and
Mhm.
it looks like a light bulb, and it transfers from device to device to device. So you can
Mhm.
add those notes on your computer. You can add it on your phone. You can add it on your iPad, wherever. I'm not an Apple person, so I'm going to give you the Google version. But I know that
Mhm.
the Apple iPhones and the iPads and all that, they have things that they can sync up with. So
Mhm.
there's really no excuse. You say just make time for it, right?
Yeah, we all have 24 hours in a day, and then I look at okay, and I look at people say John Maxwell. I researched them. We all have 24 hours in a day. Jeff Bezos. So what are they? How are they using their time? Utilizing their time, the great of the great. So I study them, and also like, what do I need to do in my life to be more productive, reach my highest potential? That's my goal in my life: reach my highest potential, and to give what I have. Um, to bless the world with my gifts. So we all have 24 hours in a day, or we're using half of that watching shows or on social media. Social media is one of the biggest time killers, even though I enjoy it, but you have to be cautious with your time because you could be on there, think you're going to be on there 15 minutes. It could be an hour later. So, and it's just about just being focused and staying focused on what you want and just accomplishing that goal and then go on to the next one. So that's being successful in writing is for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that you mentioned the time reference. I'll break it down a little bit different because I'm right there with you.
Mhm.
Couple of things. One, my mentor, Sean Hardiman, shout out to Sean Hardiman, said it this way. He said, if you stop listening to music all the time when you're traveling to and fro, and start listening to audiobooks, start listening to podcasts, start
Mhm.
going on information intake, that'll give you 2 hours a day, at least 2 hours a day of audio intake. And the at the end of a year, that's about 730 hours, which is more than the equivalent of
Mhm.
getting a master's degree. If you pick one subject and study that subject for an entire year, you got the
Mhm.
equivalent of a master's degree. Another way I like to break that time thing down is, if we look at it, 24 hours in a day, 168 hours a week, right? Average person works 40 hours
Mhm.
every every week. So that's 128 hours left. If
Mhm.
you sleeping, let's say you're
Okay, I'll get it. Mhm.
let's say you're let's say you're not the average adult and you're sleeping more than 6 hours. So we're gonna put 6 hours on the clock, right? So now
Mhm.
128 minus 42, which is 6 hours a night, you still got 86 hours remaining. If you add in time that you spend with your family, let's say you're the best parent ever, or you're the best family member ever, and you spend 2 hours a day with your kids, that's 14 hours. 86 minus 14, you got 72. Now, um, let's say you go to the gym, you work out an hour a day. One
Mhm.
hour from that, I done lost count, but I'm at 72 minus 7, 65. Now,
Mhm.
put that time, let's you have about 65 hours left in your week that you can do anything that you want with. What are you doing with that time? You got enough time to start another full-time business. You have enough time to do your research on that business. You have enough time to do so many things. We make time for the things that we want and that are important in life.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. And another key is that someone that resonated with me, this quote, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like you have to do things even when you don't feel like doing them. Um, you have to maybe sacrifice time um, to do things that it's not just easy writing a book, but you just have to get started and make the sacrifices necessary. So that resonated with me. get comfortable being uncomfortable, just as if we're working out, trying to get in shape. It's not an easy process, working out, going to the gym. It's the hype is beginning of January, and then it dwindles down. Gym gets empty around March, April again until like the new year. So our new year we should have that energy and that enthusiasm every day, not just for New Year's Day, because it's not just one day that determines, you're going to be successful. And I've read the book Atomic Habits. That's an excellent book. I'm not sure who's read that, but it's about just doing small things each day that's going to lead you to be success, and also being consistent with those things.
I think you read Atomic Habits. I read the book The Power of Habit. Similar similar
Okay.
similar books, but I think I'll be adding Atomic Habits to my to
Oh yeah,
my
you would love that. And I'm also big on audibles. I think in my library, I have about 80 audibles. So I'm always I love when I'm on like I was like so when and just as your mentor mentioned, yeah, that's when I feed my mind. I call it feeding my mind when I'm on the road. Listen to an audible. I like variety. So yeah, I totally agree with that. That's important. And this is my yeah.
yeah.
So and this is invested in me. So this is investing in myself as well. You have to
Absolutely.
invest in yourself.
Always invest in yourself.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Listen, we're gonna take our last commercial break. Last word from our sponsor, and then we'll be actually you'll get two commercials, and then we'll be back in about two and two.
Hello, and welcome to Business of Books Mastermind's Marketing Services. Here in the marketing department, you will be paired up with some of the best marketing agents in order to help launch your career. In our marketing department, we not only help you launch your book, but we provide quality service in helping you brand yourself and create a social media presence. Some of the things that we do include branding, creating awareness, weekly or monthly social media updates, event creating on social sites, and social media engagement. While creating awareness on your media platforms, this will help your social media engagement, thus creating more followers. Now, as you create more followers, this will also help you generate more sales. Now, while that is also important, we also want to make sure that you are sustaining a platform with dedicated and real people. So if you want to continue with our marketing process, please book a consultation below. We look forward to working with you.
I would like to say that my encounters with Sugar Ray and his staff has always been positive. I mean, every single step of the way, from the editing, from the cover design, from the orders, from the publicizing, from everything. I mean, I've been very, very ecstatic about how Sugar Ray has orchestrated this company and the way he moves through the business. I mean, smoothness is the key. I mean, so you have to be smooth in this line of business and most line of businesses, and I'll give you an A+ on it.
Hey, we are back. As you heard, we have the marketing services, and I just wanted y'all to hear from my brother Warren Smith, who has an amazing radio. He has a radio podcast, the Black News Network, out of San Antonio, and he touches on issues from a black man's perspective. So if you haven't tuned in already, make sure you tune in, listen to what he has going on, because he's making it happen. But what we want to do, a few things. One, if you all have not grabbed your copy of Miss Sonia White's book, I want you to
Mhm.
do me a favor and get it directly from from Sonia on her website. The link is actually on the page as we speak. And the reason I'm sending you to Miss Sonia's website is the same thing that I tell you each and every time with every author. If you go to Amazon and you purchase that book from Amazon, yes, you get a discount. How or you get the book shipped in so many days. What happens is that author has to wait about 2 to 4 months before they see any royalties from that. Those royalties are about 30 to 50% of what that book actually costs. So in essence, you're supporting them with numbers, but what you are not doing is helping them financially. So we want to make sure that you get that copy of your autographed copy of Miss Sonia's book directly from her on her link. And it is a Square link because it goes directly to Square, where she can send that book right out to you, and you should have that book within the next 2 weeks. An autographed copy from an Amazon #1 best-selling author who hit #1, and not one, not two, not three, not five. I can keep counting, y'all. 15, 15 categories. So y'all make sure y'all support it. Miss Sonia, you got any?
Thank you so much.
You
Uh,
welcome. You have any last words for the viewers? Anything you want to share?
yes, thank you for your support. If you need to reach me, my email is Sonia White, Sonia White, WHITE, 649 at gmail.com. The website for the nonprofit, for any donations or any mentors. We're actually recruiting for mentors now, is Smile Mentor, mentor.org. And we thank you and appreciate you for your support.
Absolutely, absolutely. So listen, y'all. Miss Sonia is still getting it. She's still putting in those hours, making people's lives better. So we love y'all, and we will once again see y'all next week. Love y'all.
Thank you.